Stanley, Scuba, Sailing, and Adventures. I appreciate you being here with me to log an entry in the travel journal. If this is your first time, please hit that subscribe button. Today we'll be scuba diving the Florida Keys just off of Marathon. The dive guide referred to this dive site as Tracy's. This was a new dive site for me. I had not been here before. This was just off Marathon and southwest of Coffin's Patch. I'm not sure what my problem was, but I brought a heavier wetsuit than I probably needed, and I hadn't been in that wetsuit for a while, so I wasn't sure exactly how much lead I needed, and I guesstimated incorrectly because when I hit the water, I couldn't get under, and it was a fairly new wetsuit. Needless to say, I missed most of the dive. Well, missed most of the guided dive that everybody else went on. I got back on the boat and got some more lead and quickly got back in the water, but by that time the dive group was gone, so I just explored on my own. And as I was cruising along here, you never know what you'll find. I glanced over to my right and found this Goliath Grouper. I was quite surprised because this is a fairly shallow dive site, and I know Goliath groupers are common in this area, but this massive fish was just jammed under the ledge. I'm not sure what he was up to, so I decided to back out and turn on the video light to get a better look. He's got a little remora there scooting along the front of his face. Look how tiny that little remora is. Anyway, he was really tucked under here and didn't seem like he wanted to be bothered, so that's all the video I took and decided to just go on my way and leave him alone. I hesitate to call this a Florida Keys dive series because I'm not sure how much video content I'm going to have. I did a total of 9 dives on this trip, and I did record video on every dive. However, I don't ever look at my dive video or photographs until much later when I go to process them, so I'm not sure if I recorded enough video for each dive to do a full series. But needless to say, the next several weeks will be these Florida Keys dive videos, so I guess it's kind of a series, but I don't know exactly, again, how many videos there will be. I had planned to do a lot more diving when I was in the Florida Keys on this trip, but as many of you know, if you know me personally, you know I really had some severe struggles this year with sinus infections and ear infections, and just probably too much diving and not giving it enough time out of the water before I started diving again, which ended in 4 different rounds of steroids and 4 different rounds of antibiotics. So on this trip, I stuck with the shallower dive sites and tried to spread the dives out. I haven't been calling the fish out. We just saw a trumpet fish there. I love diving the Florida Keys, and I feel that they're a little underrated. They are very weather dependent. If you get any kind of wind, it's so shallow, you'll get a lot of chop, and then the sand will get stirred up, so it's very easy for the visibility to be degraded, and then the dive boats aren't going to go out when they're 4-foot swells, which are pretty easy to get if you have a lot of wind. So very weather dependent, but the good days are really good. The fish with the black and yellow stripes, really, I guess the black stripes, are sergeant majors. The yellow fish are blue striped grunts and French grunts. The ones with the yellow tails that have kind of the yellow stripes on them are the French grunts, and then the ones that had the darker tails were the blue striped grunts. I have other videos where I've put arrows on those, and if we get a better shot here in a little bit, I'll put some arrows out and call those fish out again. We tend to see a lot of those here in the Florida Keys, and also mixed in several varieties of snapper. These are both blue striped grunts. Notice the dark color in the tail. And here in front of us we have more blue striped grunts, and then you see it gets mixed up, and we have some French grunts mixed in. And what else do we have here? That's mostly it. I thought I saw one snapper mixed in, but mostly grunts. There's our snapper. Schoolmaster. For clarification, schoolmaster is a type of snapper. A little bit about the dive. The dive started at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. My dive started probably 10 minutes later than everybody else by the time I got back in the water. And my dive time was just about 32 minutes. Again, I was in and out, and I didn't count that first part because it really wasn't much of a dive. But it did take some time to get out and get back in, so cut my dive a little short, but I did, for whatever reason, shoot a decent amount of video. So, in the water about 10 after 1, out of the water about 10 to 2, and the average depth for this dive was 22 feet, and the maximum depth was 26 feet. My dive computer reported an average water temperature of 80 degrees Fahrenheit. In the spirit of growth and improvement, I actually recorded this dive on 2 cameras simultaneously. This week we're just looking at the GoPro, and that's what I almost always shoot my video with. But again, I'm running another camera at the same time, and I did that for most of these Florida Key dives. But this dive in particular, next week we're going to take a look at this GoPro footage, and we'll take a look at the Insta360 Ace Pro that I was running side by side. Now, that's not a sponsored product. That's another camera I purchased on my own because they had advertised some good low light functionality, and as you know, with scuba diving you need a video light, and even with the video light it's still not the same as bright sunlight. So next week we'll take a look at these videos side by side and do a comparison. And if that's something you're interested in, if you leave me a comment, if there's something specific you want to see or see demoed, as long as I have the footage, we might be able to do that. So leave me a comment and let me know. That comparison had actually been on my list for a long time, but I needed to really go through the settings and adjust the Insta360 Ace Pro to get the best video out of it that I could. And I don't feel the first several times that I used it, I had the settings configured correctly to give it a fair chance against the GoPro. But all of that being said, I think I have the settings dialed in now, so again, we'll take a look at that next week. I'm still very interested in doing some VR video, so some 360 video. I've tried in the past the GoPro Max. The first one, that's the original one I tried to use, didn't work out very well. I do have the Insta360, I think it's version 5, and the Pro dive bubble for that. So I'm hoping to get that in the water and try to produce some VR dive video. I think that'd be really fun. At the very least, I will do some 360 dive video so you can turn the camera and look in whatever direction you'd like. I'm always looking for suggestions and feedback, so let me know if those things sound interesting to you, or if you have some other suggestions. Another thing I think I'll try to do more of is do more with the off-roading and overlanding. That's been an area that I've kind of neglected lately. Well, maybe not neglected, but I've been hyper-focused on diving for quite a while, it feels like. Sailing as well. I don't feel like I've done any sailing videos for a long time, so I need to record some more content. So as I mentioned, always happy to have your comments, feedback, suggestions. Drop me a line, let me know what you're thinking, and maybe you have a better idea. I'd love to hear it. Those black fish, well, black striped fish, white fish with black stripes, black fish with white stripes in the back there that I'm trying to show you, those are hi-hat fish. And I often get those confused with drumfish, but they are, in fact, hi-hat fish. And here we have one of my favorites, the 4-eyed butterfly fish, swimming off through the top of the screen. So many fish, so little time. These blue-headed fish are blue-headed wrasse, a name that kind of makes sense. And of course we have a bunch of the grunts we were talking about earlier. This crab caught my attention, and I don't know if you saw that last flick, just went into the shell. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.